Corey Norman was a controversial figure on and off the field. While he was a solid playmaker playing first grade for over 10 years, he had his problems, including street brawls, drugs, and the more recent Hopper White incident, leading to a long-term suspension. This is the rise and fall of Corey Norman. Corey Norman was born on the 3rd of February 1991 in Brisbane, Queensland. He went to school at Keebra Park State High School on the Gold Coast and started his junior career playing for the Beenleigh Lions before getting signed to the Brisbane Broncos as a junior. In round 1 of the 2010 season, Norman made his NRL debut for the Broncos against the Cowboys. He started in the fullback position as they won the game 30-24. He was named man of the match in this first game. Norman would score his first NRL try in round 9 against the Melbourne Storm. And on July 21st, he would extend his contract with the Broncos to the end of the 2012 season. Norman would play 12 NRL games, scoring 1 try, swapping between the bench and 5'8". Additionally, at the end of the year, he played for the Junior Kangaroos in 2 games. Norman would only play 8 NRL games in 2011. He played most of the year in the Toyota Cup. In 2012, he had his standout season, cementing himself in the 5'8 position. He extended his contract with the Broncos until the end of 2013. He played 25 games for the Broncos, scoring 10 tries and kicking 1 goal. In 2013, the Broncos would sign Scott Prince, which moved Norman back into the fullback role. And on the 25th of March, Norman announced that he had signed a 3-year deal with the Parramatta Eels to start at the beginning of the 2014 season. He played in the first grade side until round 18 and spent the rest of the season playing in the Queensland Cup. He played 18 games, all in the fullback position, and scored 2 tries. In 2014, with his move to the Eels, saw him cement himself in the 5'8 position. He played there every game this season. He would score his first try as an Eel against the Dragons in round 10 as they went on to win the game 36-0. Norman played 24 games and scored 3 tries throughout the year. At the start of 2015, he played in the Auckland Nines for the Eels and was named in the team of the tournament. Norman continued in 5'8 in the first half of the regular season, and in round 13 he would play his 100th NRL game and scored a try in the game. Norman played 22 games and scored 3 tries, and made a brief return to fullback for 3 of those games throughout the season. In February 2016, Norman would captain the Eels in the Auckland Nines as they went on to win the tournament. He was named as player of the tournament. During the regular season for the Eels, he would swap between the halfback and the 5'8 position, and on the 21st of July, Norman's season would end as he was suspended for 8 weeks and was fined $20,000 for breaching the code of conduct, including being caught with MDMA capsules in his possession at the Star Casino, and filming drug use and sexual activity, and consorting with criminals. Throughout the year, he played 18 games and scored 1 try. In round 1 of 2017, he returned from suspension against the Manly Sea Eagles, playing in the halfback role, as he scored a try in their 20-12 win. And Parramatta would go on to have a good year, finishing 4th on the ladder. They played in the final series, but got eliminated in the semi-finals against the Cowboys 24-14. He played in 22 games this year, swapping between 5'8 and halfback, scoring 3 tries, kicking 1 goal and 1 field goal. The 1 field goal won the Eels the game, as they defeated the Tigers in round 20, 17-16. It was a rough start to the 2018 season for Norman and the Eels, as they were sitting in last place in round 11, winning 2 out of their first 11 games. Parramatta couldn't turn their season around and finished last on the ladder at the end of the year, and in the middle of the season, Norman got handed a $20,000 fine as he was seen on social media drinking while he was out injured, which is against the club's rules. Parramatta's chief executive, Bernie Gurr, released a statement confirming Norman had been sent a breach notice. The Parramatta Eels club has been in discussion with Corey Norman and his management regarding a disciplinary matter, which resulted in a breach notice as part of our club's disciplinary process. Norman played 23 games this year, swapping between 5'8, halfback and fullback. He scored 3 tries, and on the 19th of December, he signed a 3-year contract with the St George Illawarra Dragons. Before Norman could play his first game for the Dragons in the 2019 season, on the 15th of January, a video came out online showing Norman and Australian rugby union player, Kurtley Beale, sitting on a couch, as an older man is shown taking drugs. The Dragons had informed the NRL Integrity Unit and released a statement saying The St. George Illawarra Dragons have been made aware of a video circulating on social media of Corey Norman from several years ago. The Dragons informed the NRL Integrity Unit. The Integrity Unit confirmed they had previously been aware of the footage and dealt with it accordingly at the time. The club will make no further comment. He would play his first game for the Dragons in round 1 in the 5'8 position and managed to play his first State of Origin game later in the year. Norman played a total of 19 games in his first year for the Dragons. He swapped between halfback and 5'8, scoring 3 tries, kicking 9 goals and 2 field goals. In 2020, the season was not too good for the Dragons, as they finished 13th on the ladder. He played 18 games for them this season, mainly playing in the 5'8 role, scoring 5 tries in the season. The 2021 year didn't start out too good for Norman either. Norman and former NRL player James Seguiaro were involved in a street brawl in Cronulla. The incident was referred to the NRL Integrity Unit, and on the 20th of February, Norman was handed a breach notice by the NRL and a fine of $20,000 for his involvement in the street fight. And in the middle of the year, on the 5th of July, Norman was fined $50,000 by the NRL and suspended for 1 game after breaching the game's COVID-19 protocols when he attended a party alongside 12 other Dragon players at Paul Vaughan's property. It was also alleged that Norman fled Vaughan's house but left his wallet behind, which was discovered by the New South Wales Police. Norman would play a total of 22 games for the Dragons this year, playing most of them in the 5'8 role, scoring 2 tries, kicking 24 goals and 2 field goals. At the end of the year, Norman would initially announce his retirement from rugby league. Norman said on social media, "Yeah, I was just like, nah, I'm not even keen to play anymore, hey. I was just over it, so I thought I'd call it a day." And the next year in 2022, he changed his mind and signed with the Super League team, Toulouse Olympique. He would play in the halfback and 5'8 positions, and in round 23 of the season, Norman was placed on report for inserting his finger into the arse of the opposing player. Many people know this act from John Hopewadi. Norman was charged by the RFL with a grade F offence, and on the 16th of August, Norman was found guilty for the incident and was suspended for 8 matches, which ended his season. In 2023, Norman announced he signed a contract with the London Broncos and helped them win the finals as they beat his old club 18-14. And on December 7th, 2023, he would part ways with the club. Corey Norman was a solid player over the years, playing 228 NRL games in his career. He had potential to play more games, but off-field incidents and mental fatigue held him back as a player. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I post videos like this twice a week. And if you want to watch another one, click the video on screen.